Dune Awakening Chapter 2 is finally here. There is also the Lost Harvest DLC where you can play around with the new vehicle and do the brand new event, which you can find between Hagar Basin South and the Western Vermilius Gap. As a quick additional announcement, there is Twitch drops going on right now and they literally just started today. They're going to give you pieces of stairs, ladders, round windows and columns, and 3 pieces of pillar for the brand new set. Apart from that, you might be wondering what is brand new when it comes to this update, so let's get straight into that. We will talk about the free content first, so of course continuing the story into Act 3 you get to see way more and you get to go on a murder investigation mission. I do highly recommend if you haven't gone through the story yet, it's actually pretty good and good fun, so this should be a nice continuation of that since last time was left on a cliffhanger. Character recustomization is now a feature you can find in both of the social hubs, that being Harko Village and Arakeen. There are brand new hairstyles and tattoos you can check out in these, or you could just change the color of your hair, whatever you like in there. If you're not interested in character customization, you could always look into the contracts that are now in both social hubs. You can find them in the central rooms of the hub with a contract board like you see in the trading post back in Hagar Basin. Doing these contracts gives you a little bit of stuff to do in the social hubs and earns you a bit of money, so they're pretty decent. A really nice new feature is the archetype armors. I recently did a video going over all the different ones and looking into them and showcasing them in detail if you'd like to check that out in the end cards of the video. But basically, if you fully complete the Advanced Trainer's quest, so fully completing a Trooper's quest or the Planetologist, you will now get a special outfit that will give you ability cooldowns when you wear it. It is Duralinium tier, so bear in mind, but it's a nice new outfit all the same, and you can skin it on your armor if you really like it. Let's be real though, one of the best features they added was renaming storage containers of vehicles. Now it will be much easier to sort stuff at your base and you'll know which copter is yours to sort stuff out of. There's also these dynamic encounters you can find all around the map in different places and they will spawn randomly. Finding them will give you a little bit of story and you get to help out the people in those areas and do bits and bobs for a bit of coin. So far on my server I found like a bunch of tents and some people that go on a pilgrimage, so they were pretty cool and I had to place down a grave and everything for them in a different site. So that was pretty interesting seeing people just traveling across Arrakis doing random bits and bobs. A nice quality of life feature they added in this update was auto run toggles. You can do this on a carrier ornithopter as well, which is game changing. To activate it, all you got to do is press right shift and make sure it's in fly mode, not glide mode. It is ideal for a carrier ornithopter going throughout the deep desert and just flying from A to B, and you won't have to hold your fingers down for ages on W and shift. It's a little bit to adjust to normally because I'm so used to holding down shift when running around on foot, but that's also, now not a thing. You could just press shift once and you're running around. Like they were saying in the dev stream, they would have some better ornithopter rockets. They've adjusted these and made them more accurate where they're aiming. And there's been a few more combat improvements as well, where enemies and AI will be a lot more reactive and they will, genuinely be a little bit harder, which I'm wondering how that's going to play out in the deep desert testing stations. The Deep Desert also had some changes. They removed those quicksand borders, so if you crash against one or something like that, you're not stuck in quicksand, which was awful. You can now cross the borders on foot or in ground vehicles if you're an insane person, or maybe you just like a bit of spice of life. There's still a lot of sand in the deep desert. It's a big deal. Nice thing though they said in this one is the borders should no longer cause disconnects and hitching, which will definitely help, especially when there's not a giant pool of threatening quicksand to land in. They added some brand new islands to the deep desert as well to add in some more variety on what you find across the lands. And they added an easier tier of missile launcher to make, so the Duralinium tier now has a launcher you can use to defend against ornithopters. They've synced up loot boxes and NPCs now so that they are synced up together so they spawn at the same time. Their aim is to stop loot box campers. I don't know if this is the trick for it, but we will wait and see. I say hopefully because generally when I see these boxes are not in the same room as enemies, but maybe that's changed now. Hallelujah! This one is really welcome. Assault Ornithopter capacity has been upped. Instead of 15 slots, it now has 20, and the volume is doubled, meaning instead of 1,000, it is now 2,000, so you can haul some serious stuff. I hope we see a bit more of this in the future, and of course definitely need a carrier storage, because hauling things back and forth from the DD to Haga Basin is a pain in the bum. For an easy mining experience, they've now put hotkeys in to switch seats when you're in a vehicle using F1 through to F8. And that brings us to the end of the free update. Let's have a look at the DLC. So the brand new Lost Harvest DLC is pretty cool. You start out, I mean, as soon as you log in, you will see it and hear it as you'll get a distress call. And the distress call will send you to a place on the map between Haga Basin South and Vermilius Gap West. When you go there, you'll have some story to discover and go around the place, finding different bits and bobs for 3 different people. You get a lot of decor items in this one, a brand new vehicle, and 4 different Dune Man building pieces, which include a really cool door. I will be honest, I'm a little bummed there's not that many pieces in this set considering it's a DLC. I hope to see more in the future, like proper sloped roofs and all the bits in between. At the moment, if you like a box space, it definitely will do the job, and I think I would definitely use the garage door. There is 5 new base decorations included in this set as well, including a hologram and different bits and bobs you could place around the place. They're all like kind of garage themed, so if you like that type of thing, it definitely will suit. There's 2 new armor skins, 4 weapon skins, a new Vermilius Dusk swatch, and a thumper emote, which you will have it placing your hand in several different directions. And of course, once you finish the DLC story, you will unlock a treadwheel vehicle, which is insanely cool. One of the things they don't mention though is the story of the Lost Harvest, and once you get past the first bit, the second part is friggin' awesome, okay? You go in these brand new areas, in these dungeons, and they're insanely cool, like abandoned testing stations, and they have a really cool boss in them I highly recommend checking out. I had an absolute blast on stream when I played it through. It was wonderful. Also, something cool, they are doing a discount right now, so if you haven't got Dune yet, or maybe you want to get one of the other versions, there is 20% off on it on the original price. They're also doing a free-to-play weekend right now, which is running literally today, September 11th through to September 15th, so if you want to try it for free, you can. And if you or a friend wants to buy it, then of course you got 20% off, which is always nice, getting a bit of money off on a purchase. This update also came with a butt ton of patch notes, which is always nice seeing them hot fix the game, and there seems to be quite a few crashes fixed in here. Of course, this has come with a brand new hotfix that came in today, which fixed a few issues with the DLC. So they fixed issues where spice could spawn under Mithra's shipwreck. There was actually an issue with some of the audio where you'd get a hit marker visual and audio effects when you were trying to repair your vehicle, which was really bizarre, but it turns out it was actually a bug. They fixed an issue where players could not connect to a world and received the error code 5Q2, and they fixed an issue where you would crash during a shader check. There was also a crash which could happen when you were looting NPCs and chests, which they fixed. Fixed some issues with checkpoints and entry respawn locations and testing stations, and a rare issue where players would get stuck inside of the Lost Harvest ship, which was interesting. I would not want to be stuck in there, especially if a spice bloom was active. Oh my goodness. They fixed the issue with rendering, which could happen when you disabled the lumen options in the settings. An issue where chests in the deep desert Imperial testing stations could be looted multiple times. And then mainly going through these patch notes goes over what we've already talked about, although it is nice to see some improved server stability and anti-cheat measures, which is always nice. There is an absolutely metric ton of patch notes to check out with this version of the game, which is really nice and cool to see. If you'd like to have a little read through them, you absolutely can. I will link them in the description down below for you. Either way, that will be it from me today. Thank you so much for watching. I love you, and I will see you in the next one. Bye bye.